Hello, I'm Jill Boggs in the Department of Applied Linguistics, and I'm here with someone special today who's going to explain some of her experiences here at Swansea University. So would you like to tell us who you are and something about your background?
Yeah, of course. My Chinese name is Sida Cong and my English name is Da. So I'm in my exchange year as an international student in Swansea Uni now. I'm doing the courses related to English language and TESOL. And in September, I will do the master degree courses here as well and the same major TESOL.
Great. So when did you arrive in Swansea?
I think last September, and exactly it's like September 22nd.
So almost a year now.
Yeah, and definitely an academic year because it's just like close to the end of this semester.
Yeah, it passes quickly.
Yeah.
What were your first impressions of the city when you came?
I think once I got here, I began to love here because I think the street view is very fancy and the buildings they have the different types of the decorations outside the wall, and it's just like the classical, classical British buildings. It's like that. Yeah, I like here the environment. So I think that's a good thing for me. Like the first impression is very good and positive, and I can just be very happy and positive to study and live here.
I'm happy you had such a positive first impression here.
Yeah, I'm glad to have that impression actually.
Was the weather nice when you first arrived?
Not really, but just fine. And before I think I dislike the rainy days or wind days, but now I'm totally adapt to it. So
you always have such a positive attitude. Everyone complains about the rain, but you've adapted well.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you told us a little bit about your first impressions of Swansea. How about of the university? Your first impressions of Swansea Uni, of your program?
Yeah. I think it's quite different from my uni in China. Yeah, I think it's more open because of the COVID-19. We can't we couldn't be allowed to go outside very frequently. And it's an open uni, and we can study in the library or somewhere else, like quiet places. It has a beautiful small park. Yeah, I think the environment, natural environment, is good, and I like the equipment in the classroom. We have the multimedia devices to learn, and and the small class is very good to communicate with our lecturers.
Yes, and you're always good to communicate with your peers and chatting with me.
Yeah, I like the interactions with my lecturers and classmates. Just like we can get the opportunity to learn something together.
You don't feel nervous about talking in class?
No. Yeah, I think definitely not, because I love to share my opinions and maybe check if my opinions is in the right way. Maybe not definitely 100% right, because some questions just open.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, but still fun to share. Yeah.
I think that's great. Some students can feel nervous about saying anything in front of other people, but when you have that communication in the classroom, it makes the atmosphere so positive. So yeah, that's good. What made you decide to study abroad?
I think the story started from my third year of my university. At the time, I think the first 3 years in my university, I tried to be a good student, hard-working student, because I knew I should do like that. But it's still a passive thing. It's not what I want to do or what I prefer to do. I don't have the motivation or interest on learning English. I think I just couldn't be like that anymore, and maybe put some pressure on myself or challenges. So how about studying abroad, to come into a totally new environment? With a different cultural background, with a new English environment, the the language environment is very different, and still, yes, it's a challenge, but it will be good for me to like step forward. Yeah, I hope so, and I think it did work. Yeah.
So are you saying that your first idea about studying abroad was created because you wanted to push yourself and feel motivation to do something?
Yeah, I think it's the main reason, because I think I was scared of to be in a new environment and totally independently, because I will be away from my home, my family, my friends. Yeah, and with the time gap, we can't like contact very frequently. I will be homesick. But I think when I get here, and will be like charge anything about myself independently, and I can just get some more experiences, and I can be stronger and braver. Yeah, it will be good.
It sounds like you've learned a lot in your year away from your family.
Yeah,
and you've become very independent.
Yeah, definitely. Like everything just should do by myself, and my family and my friends just said when we talk through the phone calls or video calls, oh, you are such a different person now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Well done. So you've experienced a number of challenges while studying abroad. You were talking about being away from your family. Would you tell us some more about how you adapted to the challenges of just living in this new environment?
Yeah. First the transportation, because I have to be honest, I have a bad sense of direction, so I always get lost, even in the same building or the same floor. So that's crazy. So definitely I got lost a little bit around the bus stop or bus station in the city center. Yeah, and I just can't read the timetable of the buses. So confused at first. And then I just like try to learn how to read it, and to catch the bus, like to be leave my house earlier and not to be late. Yeah, and I think after 1 month maybe I can just not to miss the bus or something like that.
So one of your techniques for coping with this was just to leave the house earlier, so you didn't have, being late as a stressor.
Yeah, I have enough time to be lost and then get back to the right track and right route. Yeah.
Well done. Can you think of any other challenges that you adapted to?
Yeah, I think the language environment is still a big problem, because my native language is Chinese Mandarin, and so it's quite different from that English. So still at the beginning, I think it's a little hard for me to get the meaning from the spoken English, but I think it just takes time, so I shouldn't be disappointed to myself or nervous. Yeah, and I think like as time goes by, I will improve it definitely. So
I think that's true, and it's a really good attitude. And I think that one thing that international students should remember when they come here is that communication takes two people.
Yeah.
So it's my job to try to understand and to listen carefully. It's not just the speaker's job to be perfect.
Yeah.
So yeah, good attitude. Was there anything else you wanted to give advice, maybe about studying or anything?
Yeah, I think maybe for the international students who study abroad, first thing to get over or to establish your own attitude is you should like to set a goal for studying abroad, like what I want to get from this experience. So I think it's more important to focus on the process, not the result. Yeah, because I think it's good to come to a new cultural background and get to know a new country, and more importantly to improve my English skills here. Yeah, I think if you enjoy the time here, it works well to do it. don't worry about the future, or if I can get a good job after this, or if I can get good grades after this. Because if you hold a positive attitude and you work hard on it, you will get the best results for yourself.
What a really good piece of advice. Just to manage your own expectations and be gentle with yourself.
Yeah. And second one, I think let me check. Yeah, I think 21 days can help us to establish a new habit. Yeah, it has some scientific theories on it, and I think and we should just to set one small goal to get over the first 21 days.
Okay.
Yeah, and maybe you can put a timetable or something like that, like counting down, and I can adapt to the new environment totally after 21 days. And because I did that and it worked. Just reached the 21st, and then I think it's the time. And at that day, I took part in a volleyball game. I think the first game in Swansea Uni I take part in. So I think it's very meaningful and valuable to memorize that.
I love this idea of a short-term goal. Like when you arrive, if you think, I have to survive a whole academic year here, it can feel very big.
Yeah.
But if you say,
I'm just stressful.
going to... and stressful.
Yeah.
If you say, I'm just going to enjoy these 21 days, I'm just going to see what will happen in these 21 days and keep an open mind.
Yeah.
And maybe plan something special to celebrate your first 21 days.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe at the I can say in fact at the beginning of the 21 days it will be very hard because you don't know any other tiny things in this city, in this new country and new study environment, but it's fine. You can improve and can make progress definitely. You just to insist on what you should do.
Keep doing what you're supposed to be doing. Just stay true to your goals.
Yeah.
That's good advice. Did you have anything else you wanted to add?
Yes. I think it's important to manage our time because we have a lot of the spare time or self-study time. So to balance the study and relaxation, and it's good to have some hobbies. So for example, my hobby is volleyball. Definitely I enjoy the volleyball time in our volleyball team and the games, the training sessions, and I think get the positive energy, physically and emotionally, within the group, and we play and we laughed. I think it's a kind of good way to keep me from the loneliness.
And it's a good way to keep perspective too. I think it's a mistake for students to arrive and think, okay, I'm only going to work hard, I'll only study, I'm only concerned about my results. And then there's no joy in their life. And if something bad happens for example, they fail a test, then there's nothing in their life to balance that bad experience. Whereas you have volleyball, and you can go and play and have a good time with people and remind yourself that it's perspective.
That's true.
That was really useful. Thank you so much for spending your time to share your experiences and maybe help someone else who's struggling or is considering coming to Swansea.